authentic spring day. It's great. It's awesome to see everybody. I would like to call the meeting to order. And I'm sorry, do I need a vote for that again or no? Great. All right. Well, I hope everybody saw the agenda. Lisa and I worked on it, sent it out last Thursday. And it looks like the next item is any additions or deletions to our agenda. Anything people would like to add or get rid of?
Not for me, Daniel.
Great. Well, hearing none. Yeah, I'm not hearing any. Let's move on to the approval of minute meetings. The first one we need to approve is from our most recent one, March 10th, 2025. Will someone entertain a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
Excellent. Thank you, Glenn. So moved by Glenn. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Thanks, Karen. The motion is on the floor. Do we have any amendments, modifications about those minutes? And again, on the agenda, there's a link. You can always click on it to see them. Great. I'm hearing none. So let's move to accept those minutes. All those in favor, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Excellent. All of those opposed, please say aye or raise your hand. Great. Hearing none, the motion passes and the minutes are accepted for March 10th. The next one on our agenda is from last summer, July 8th, 2024. And again, Kim, would you mind just real briefly sharing with our subcommittee what you discovered about those minutes and how we can approve them, please?
Sure. So there was a question at the last meeting, since a number of members have changed who's representing from their organization, and a number of folks currently on the committee were not present at the July 8th or June 24th meeting. And I had said that I was not comfortable voting on minutes that I had not attended a meeting. I went back and did a little research, and per Robert's Rules of Order, which are council rules, say that we conduct our business per Robert's Rules, it specifically says that you do not have to be present at a meeting to vote on past meeting minutes. So I stand corrected by Robert's Rules. So you, as a committee member, even if you were not at the July 8th meeting, if you haven't already, you can read through the minutes, and a member can, if they see something that's wrong, right, offer a correction, whatnot, but can indeed vote on approving the minutes as they're written. And so that's what I found out. So I will be voting today for the meetings that Tim attended from the summer. And anyone else who would feel comfortable would be encouraged to do so.
Thanks for checking on that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kim. And again, on the agenda, if you hit the link, you can actually see who was there. I didn't realize I was actually at the one in June, so that was pretty great. So I would like to, if we're all good, for someone to entertain a motion to accept the minutes for July 8th, 2024.
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn. Moved by Glenn. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Excellent. Thank you. The motion is now on the floor. Do we have any amendments, modifications about those minutes from July 8th? Excellent. I'm hearing none. So let's move to vote to accept those minutes. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Great. Thank you. All those opposed, please say aye or raise your hand. Hearing none, the motion passes and the minutes from July 8th, 2024 are accepted. All right, one more.
Daniel?
Yes.
I think Wes would abstain, right? Because he wasn't part of that.
Doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to abstain.
Correct. So even
Okay,
he
okay.
can vote for
Got it.
representing his organization. Yeah.
Okay. And I was just trying to like make sure I was just going through the minutes right now. So
Oh, thank you so much. And thanks for catching me on that. Yeah, I was looking over it. I know both of those meetings, Justin Stedman was present, right? And that's the same organization, I think, the Fish and Wildlife.
Yeah, and to go even a step further, Robert Rules doesn't even drill down to that. It just says that you as a member, you have the right to vote. Just that you're present here today, you have the right to vote and take part in this action item. So yeah, Wes is all powerful today and can vote away. Now,
Oh.
just bigger picture for anyone who's concerned about like, hey, but I wasn't at that meeting. What if something meaty happened in that meeting and a year from now, this is brought in to some record somewhere of action taken, your name would not appear, right? Like you would say, well, I wasn't actually at that meeting, and, it would note who was at that meeting. So if anyone had any concern about that, like, wait, but I'm voting on something that I wasn't present, it would still be clear that you were just voting on approving the minutes today, but whatever action took place at that meeting, you're not sort of implicit in that. Not that anything meaty happened at that meeting, but just for future reference.
Thank you for that clarification, Kim. And then just moving on for our last one, I believe, June 24th, 2024. Will someone entertain a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn. So moved by Glenn. Is there a second to that motion? I think I see you, Karen. Excellent, thank you. The motion is on the floor. Once again, do we have any amendments, modifications about those minutes from June? Okay, hearing none. Let's move to vote to accept those minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye or raising your hand.
Aye.
Thank you. All those opposed, please say aye or raise your hand. Hearing none, the motion passes and the minutes are accepted. Great job. We've been needing to do that for a while. Moving along to our next item on our agenda, it looks like it's public comment. This is a chance for anybody from the public who wants to make any comments or questions. I'm not sure if I'm seeing any folks from the public today. All right, wow, it must be the sunshine. Then let's move along if that's okay. And I hope I'm not rushing it. I'm trying to strike a nice balance here. Our next item is to vote on a co-chair to help me out a little bit. I guess, again, I'm sorry, Kim or Lisa, how do I go about this? Is it just like the minutes, someone entertains a motion, or does someone just kind of throw their hat into the ring?
All of the above? No.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it could, yeah, you could open it up for a discussion, see if there's anyone who is interested. Someone else could nominate someone else. I mean, I think there's some room here, a little
Okay, 'cause
flexibility, but then if we got to a vote, then it would be a motion.
Okay. I was going to say, I think I landed on this subcommittee by somebody nominating. I don't know if maybe if someone has questions like how much time. I mean, I'm definitely learning on the fly. Lisa and I have been, and again, I just thank you so much, Lisa. I'm so glad you're part of this group. We meet maybe one Monday a month, 30-minute call, work on the agenda, check in. It's great work. And yeah, if somebody wanted to help out, be the co-chair, that'd be excellent. Again, I feel like I'm learning on the fly, and at the same time, again, the Academy's been so supportive. Everybody's been wonderful. So that's what I got to say. And of course, if somebody had more questions about it, please let me know.
Yeah, I'll just say that, this is a really important committee. This is a really important role. We do really important work. So I am looking for somebody to step up and support Daniel in co-chairing this committee. So I'm hoping that folks will nominate others or nominate themselves, and that we can have a better balance here with leadership for this committee.
Thank you, Lisa.
Unless someone is absolutely dying to pad their resume with co-chair of the FIP committee, I'm happy to put my name forward.
Cool. Wow. Thank you, Kim. Yes.
Hey, Kim, thank you so much.
So nobody's dying.
Nobody's
Feel
dying
free to
to
fight
do
me.
this. I think that actually, I think that I'm really grateful to you for stepping into this role. I think that it's important that when we have co-chair situations in our subcommittees, that I think it's actually really important for there to be a mixture of community members and people who come from the criminal legal system. And so that's where you're sitting now, Kim. And so I just think I think it's actually really important. I'm the vice chair of the Professional Regulation Committee and serve under Trevor's leadership with an awful lot of support and leadership from Chris as well. And I think that it's a good balance. So I appreciate you stepping up, and because I was about to nominate you or any of the other criminal legal system folks to this role. So thank you.
I completely agree, Karen. Thank you for those remarks. So can we go forward, or does anybody else want to throw in their hat? All right, well, hearing none, will someone entertain a motion to nominate or to vote for Kim as our co-chair?
I nominate Kim as co-chair.
Thank you, Susanna. So moved by Susanna. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Karen. The motion is on the floor. Do we have any questions, comments, or can we just vote? All right. Yes, Karen, I see your hand.
She's voting.
Oh,
I'm voting yes.
Okay. So I'm sorry, let me set this up. All those in favor of voting for Kim as our co-chair to help me out, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Excellent. Any opposed? Please say aye or raise your hand. Great. Hearing none, the motion passes, and I am so happy. Thank you, Kim. Kim is now co-chair of our very important FIP subcommittee. I think a round of applause is due. Wow. Whew. Thank you
The
very much.
vetting was pretty intense there. I was ready for the tough question. So thanks for
Yeah.
going easy on me, everyone.
Kim,
Thank
we're
you
so
so much.
lucky. Thank
Oh
you
my
so
gosh.
much.
Yeah, no, it's perfect timing. The legislature is going to be winding down a little bit. I feel like I'm in a good spot that I can help, and then yeah, it'll work out well.
Wow. I'm from California. I'm stoked. This is great. Thank you so much. Moving along, our next item, update on mandatory 2025 FIP training. And I believe this is where Lisa, right? Lisa's going to step up, and I'm going to mute. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hi, everybody. So I just wanted to give a quick update with the 2025 mandatory FIP training. As of this morning, we're at 678 folks who are enrolled, and 596 have completed the training. So that's at a 91% compliance rate, which is great. Halfway-ish there, I think. So I've been getting some feedback from folks just who have taken it and are at the academy, have stopped in or sent emails. Mostly really good things, really happy with it. They love the training platform, very user-friendly, which is a good thing. And a lot of questions about like a certificate, like, why is there not a certificate? And it's just, we were trying to juggle and make sure we got everything. And I just overlooked that. And honestly, they could just print the last page that says they completed 16 out of the 16 modules. So that's been my instruction. But again, really, really great feedback. And again, so appreciative of the folks who are part of that and making that happen. So excited about it. Anyone have any questions, comments? Kim?
And this may be for you, Lisa, or maybe Chris, comparing to past training. I mean, the 91% I mean, it's only been out a month, right? The training, like, I'm just curious, like, looking at past trainings, whether this is phenomenally high and because of the way it was done, or like, how would you, is there any way to compare or not really? Because it's just a totally different way of putting it out.
I think from my perspective, it's different in that we didn't put out specific dates as to when something was going to be available or dates that you could take it. And that was because it had to be recorded and we had a staff member that would have to track that. The fact that it's just out there, take it at your leisure when it works for you, not creating overtime, the easiest time for somebody else to take it has been a big part in that. Um, I'm I'm just a little bit disappointed in that we haven't had more positive feedback on it, because to me, it's leaps and bounds from what we've done here in the past. And secondly, um, then this is no comment on Lisa's work, because Lisa pulled everybody together to really get folks together to help us put this on. But we really tried to think, let's go through this. I can't tell you how many times we went through it before we put it out, thinking we have every little thing fixed. If there's something we missed, we've got it covered. And that's on me. Everybody wanted their certificate at the end. I'm like, really? Like that's what you're complaining about? So again, they finished the last page. It shows that they did every module. If they really feel like they have to have something to give to their agency head, they can do that. So it's a lesson learned on our part.
Well, thank you for those remarks, Chief Raquel. And yeah, it's a little puzzling. I guess people really enjoy getting an award at the end of something. But that's great to hear that 91% compliance. And again, I think that's just a big reflection of the work that we've been doing, and you, Lisa, in particular. Yeah, Susan, I think I see your hand.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, and maybe this is too much. I'm cognizant of the fact that we're doing a lot and asking officers to do a lot. But I wonder if there's a way that maybe we can do an after survey down the line that says, hey, it's been 6 months since you took this training. Do you feel like you're using it in your day-to-day work? Is it helpful, or have you referenced it at all? Just to get a sense of impact. I find that it's a lot like online product reviews, you get a lot of 5 stars when the person just received it. I want to see a review from the person who's had it for 8 months, because I want to know how it holds up. So in some sense, I'm curious to know if there's a way that we can survey its efficacy, not just immediately after it's taken, but perhaps down the line.
Suzanne, I think that's a great idea. I love that, just to get a deeper dive into where people are at, what skill sets they're using based from the training. So I think that's something we can talk about in this committee in the coming months and get a draft. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Susan. I think that's a great idea. And I think one of the themes of the subcommittee since I've joined is we want to make sure this is worthwhile and it's not just like a stamp and then you move on. That's what I think that's fantastic, and that's something I look forward to talking more about with Lisa and Kim and this whole subcommittee. Thank you. Looking at our agenda, I believe again this is I think you, Lisa, with an update on a FIP statement to communities that you've been working on.
Yeah, that's been a real group effort, and appreciative of Mara, who helped me draft that, and then of course folks on this call who provided feedback at, was it last week's council meeting? I guess that was last week. It passed unanimously, so that's really exciting. I'm really happy about it. It's on our website. It's the first thing you see on our website. And I'll just say, I mentioned this on the council meeting, but maybe for those of you who weren't there or didn't hear it, this would not be possible without the Office of Racial Equity, frankly. Like, we wouldn't, the translation into 12 different languages, 13 different languages, plus ASL captioning. would not be possible without ORE. So, Suzanne, I want to thank you and your team for working with me on that. I just checked the platform today. It looks like it's done for the FIP letter, which is really, really exciting. So in the next couple days, Chief and I talked about doing a press release and then also linking the different languages in that document, of course, putting it on our website as well. So this is very exciting. I'm stoked about it. And along those same lines, we're also getting our FIP policy translated into 13 languages plus ASL captioning. So again, thank you so much, Office of Racial Equity and Susanna. This is magnificent. I'm really excited about it. Happy to answer any questions or if folks have comments or suggestions, thoughts.
Yeah, that is excellent teamwork. Thank you so much, everyone. Really important. Our next item, it looks like it's just updates from Vermont Police Academy. So I believe that's Chief Raquel.
Thank you. And yes, I couldn't agree more with what Lisa said and Susanna's help. But then again, she's always been a great partner. So nice to have people working together like that. I just wanted to give you a few policies that are still out there, still waiting to be completed and compliant. We have a new rendered version, again, from the town of Richmond that has not been approved yet. That's in the process of being reviewed by Julio. I think that theirs is working a little bit closer to where it needs to be, but again, I'm no lawyer, so I'm very happy to have Julio taking a look at that for review. Next town is Hartford. I was asked to come to the town of Hartford Select Board meeting a month or so ago to explain that process of why their policy was having trouble. And it really wasn't having trouble. The town of Hartford, the police department, has adopted the council's policy completely. However, the town of Hartford has a welcoming ordinance that they adopted in either 2020 or 2021 that does have some conflicting issues with the council's policy. And the concern from the Attorney General's office was that if you have an ordinance by your town and it applies to all of your employees, that takes precedence over a policy. And so there was worry that there was going to be conflict between the town's ordinance and the police department's policy. They just wanted to clarify that. So part of the suggestion to me from the AG's office was to tell the town of Hartford they could still have their ordinance with a single additional line at the end of their ordinance or at the end of the council's policy, that if there was any conflict between the two, that the council's policy would take full force and effect over what those conflicts were. So I met at the request of the town of Hartford to go over those suggested options and also what the statute says around the council's FIP policy, and that there, until such time as there is a policy that's in place, that the council's policy will be in full force and effect for the police department. I would like to categorize that meeting went from an invite to a not so welcoming meeting with folks, because that meeting was in attendance by Migrant Justice and some folks from the Vermont Law School that took a much different approach to how that meeting went from that point on. And so I gave them the statutory citations after that meeting. We have a great working, or at least I have a great working relationship with the town of Hartford's manager. He is a former attorney as well. So we have some additional meetings coming up with the town of Hartford. They've got a committee together who wants to be a part of the discussions and the review by the Attorney General's office. Excuse me. Julio has been receptive to that, only making sure that the outline of this meeting is to make sure that those folks that come to that meeting know what the council's policy is and what it stands for statutorily, and that this is not a rehash or a meeting to change the council's policy or to change their welcoming ordinances they see fit, just to make sure that they understand the ramifications of those differences. So I look forward to future meetings and I'll fill you in on how they take place. And the last update on policy is the Essex County Sheriff. As some of you may know, he had a policy that was out of compliance. We had last communications I had with him were in February, outlining what those changes were and how they did not meet the criteria. He came to a council meeting, asked for some guidance. He was given some guidance, didn't really agree with the guidance that he was given. And I haven't heard anything since. And I've reached out since. And then after the last council meeting, where I identified his policy as still one that was outstanding, I received an email after that council meeting with a rehash of the last email that I sent to him in February, but a new policy at least to take a look at. That is now in the hands of the Attorney General's office as well. That will be reviewed. I didn't see much change other than created language that I think the sheriff felt he wanted to have as a policy and wants to again discuss when the council will vote on his policy. And regardless of explanation, that doesn't seem to sink in. So we'll wait till the review is done from the Attorney General's office, and then I hope to set up another meeting with the sheriff after that's done. So, Karen.
Thank you for that update, Chris. I'm curious, I should know this probably, but we're in the middle of this long process now with the back and forth, and I appreciate your patience with that. Is there some point where the only recourse left is to file an Acts 56 complaint?
I don't know that there is, because the statute says very clearly that until such time as the policy is compliant, that they have to take the council's policy in full force and enforce the council's policy. So short of finding out that they were not enforcing the council's policy, that would be a legitimate Act 56 complaint.
Got it.
But the fact that the ask is, well, I'm asking the council and you're not helping me. And so we can provide guidance. It's not for us to help him create a policy. We've created a policy for him. He just chooses not to like that one. So when there is evidence of actual non-compliance with the council's policy, then yes, that would be a legitimate complaint to make.
Okay, thank you.
That's really it for my update, unless anybody has any other questions on those three outstanding policies.
Thank you so much, Chief. That certainly sounds like a delicate dance. And yeah, just thank you so much. And it's always work to do. All right, folks. Well, I'm looking at the agenda, and I think we're about to wrap it up. Our last one is a motion to adjourn. Again, unless somebody has questions or comments. Lisa?
Yeah, thanks. Just two quick things. One, I want to officially welcome Wes to our committee. Thank you so much for being here. Really excited to work with you. And if there's any questions you have, please don't hesitate to reach out. And the second thing I want to mention is that our 119th graduation is on May 30th. It would be wonderful to have as many of you as we can attend that graduation. It's pretty magical. So it's 10 to 12 on May 30th here at the Academy. Would love to have you there if you can make it.
Can I just, I want to support that request for folks to attend the graduation. As a community member, I find it to be completely inspirational, and to see the work that we do year in and year out kind of coming to life during the graduation ceremony is pretty profound. If you do come, I recommend you bring a couple Kleenex with you, because there's It's very moving ceremony. And I also just want to say that the Academy really does it right. They really, the ceremony itself is just really well done, efficient, and also I'm telling you, these families that come, it's really something. It's really something to see it all in action and see the culmination. So I hope that everybody, and they let us sit right up front too. That's the other thing, is we have these special VIP chairs that are right up front. So I want to encourage everybody, especially if you've never been before, to come. Thanks.
Karen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lisa, for that. Thanks, Karen. I'm pretty sure for me, at least the school year is winding down. I want to be there and will make every effort to be there. As I've shared before too, I come from a family of law enforcement, and I was too little to attend one of my uncles, but I remember when he did it, it was just, yeah, magical. It was quite the challenge. He had a tough time, and it was great when that day came. So thank you so much for plugging that. All right, folks, again, unless there's anything else, I'm looking at our last item, motion to adjourn. Will someone entertain a motion to adjourn? Unless if you want to hang out for the rest of the day. Or...
So moved.
Thank you, Glenn. Glenn is so moved by Glenn. Is there a second to a motion to adjourn?
I'm going to second, because I'm always going to second Glenn's motions.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Karen. Will all those in favor please say aye and/or raise your hand?
Aye.
Unanimous. All those opposed say aye or raise your hand. This was a great meeting. It's always wonderful to see you. Thank you all very much. I hope you enjoy the sunshine, and we'll be in touch. See you next time.
Thank
you, Daniel. Nice job.
Daniel, great job.
Thank
Yes,
you all.
nice job.
And wow.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.